And commiserations, Liverpool fans. Tom Little, what happened tonight, my friend? Because it was a battering to end all batterings.
You saw a team that hasn't played well all season, but got away with it. Finally, not get away with it. We haven't performed well. We've got good results, but we haven't performed well for large parts of the season. We just got our comeuppance today. They didn't miss their chances. We didn't take ours. That's been the story of our season. And it all culminates in that shit show, which is an embarrassment to the manager, who, don't get me wrong, I think the manager deserves a lot of criticism today because, oh my God. I actually watched my team get picked apart for 90 minutes defensively by man-to-man marking. They didn't have some mad defensive structure. They just said centre mid on centre mid, centre mid on centre mid, DM or attacking mid on DM, wingers on fullbacks, fullbacks on wingers, follow them round, and we just sort of went, oh no, what do we do? And then we just played into their hands with that. When you're up against a team who does man-to-man marking, you don't sit there and wait for the gaps to open up, because the gaps are not going to open up because you're not breaking down a structure. It's the most basic level of defending. And for some reason, my manager didn't figure that out. Substitutions, horrendous today. Horrendous. We had about 2 good performers in that first half, and one of them was Gakpo. So at the second possible opportunity he took Gakpo out of the position where he was performing well, put him in the middle where he was ineffective. Defensively, shambolic. Tsimikas, crap. Robertson, slightly better than crap. Not good, though. Van Dijk and Canate. The one thing I've learned about us, and it's been a thing for years, but especially in that game, for a team who likes to hold a high line, why can we not hold a line defensively? At no point in that game was our back 4 in a line. It would be 3 in the line and 1 about 5 yards deeper playing everyone on. The midfield, crap. Endo's been good this season, but my God, he could not receive the ball under any sort of pressure today. He'd receive the ball and just stand there taking the crap touch and wait for himself to get tackled. The attackers, bar Gakpo, were all horrendous. All horrendous. And Gakpo wasn't much better than horrendous, but he was better than horrendous. Nunes, oh my God. You're through on goal in the 20th minute, and literally, the goalkeeper couldn't give you more of the right-hand side of the goal to aim for than doing the Bobby Firmino celebration. They done waged on that. And yet you put it the other side and missed. Gomez, oh, don't get me started on Gomez, man. Do not get me started on fucking Gomez. Stop shooting. There is a reason why you've not scored a goal in your entire professional career. It is not going to come from 35 yards out. It is going to come off your arse, off a corner.
He's brain dead. He's a brain dead footballer, Tom. He's a brain dead footballer. It's not just. This is not the first time.
Well.
Klopp even went on in interviews a few months ago. Turned around and said, "Crowd, please stop." That was his nice way of telling Joe Gomez, "Stop shooting from stupid fucking places."
And it was the one we had a corner, it got whipped in, it comes out to Joe Gomez, but actually, we've got loads of people in the box. All he needs to do is just float it back in, and he puts it into row G of the Kop and walks away. But do you know what? The fans today were horrendous. That ground was silence. That ground was embarrassing for the Liverpool European night. And a lot of the people who went there should be ashamed of themselves. And they don't help with this Gomez stuff. They don't. Sitting there every time he gets the ball in there off going, shoot. No. Pass the fucking ball to someone who scored more than 0 goals in their entire career. And maybe we'll get somewhere. You know what the only good thing to come out today was? Everyone, and I mean everyone, crashed it to me on Amorim when he went out to Atalanta. It's not a bad result now, is it? Because he only drew 1-1 at home. He didn't lose 3-0. What are we doing here?
Then. Better than Klopp?
I'm not saying anything. I don't think you should crash it on Amorim then.
The defending tonight, I understand the attack and we'll get onto that, but defending tonight, I felt that all 3 of your goals, I'm not taking anything away from Atalanta because they sort of preyed upon it, but there was mistakes or people out of position. I mean, the second goal, I don't understand why Canate and Gomez are just looking at Scamacca like they're waiting for the flag. I mean, it was just horrendous to watch tonight, defensively.
Listen, I always say this about Liverpool defensively is that at time we do lack leadership at the back. At times, not all the time. Of course, you got Van Dijk. There's one the best centre back in the world, so he'll kind of overshadow sometimes the defensive structure. But there are times I do look at the defense and I do think, like, where's the leadership back here? That's the maddest part of the game. Like, not just looking at Van Dijk, by the way. This is looking at the whole defense, and we're not talking about inexperienced defenders. It's not like we got Kwanzaa and Bradley back there where you can say, okay, fair enough, they're young, they're inexperienced, etc., etc. We're talking about Konate and Gomez. Gomez, who's the longest serving player at Liverpool Football Club. Konate, who's played in Champions League finals. And these lot defended like this was the first time they'd ever met each other. That was the scary part. And it wasn't like Atalanta's forward line, by the way, which were very good for what they needed to do. It wasn't like they were doing crazy movement where you're like, Jesus Christ, I can't even find these guys. Just lack of communication. It was like the basic stuff that we were doing. But Tom said it there. We've kind of been defending like this all season. So a result like this, I'm not even too, like, I'm mad, but I'm not even too mad because we've had games very similar to this, but kind of got away with it. You saw when Salah scored, and then obviously it was marked off for offside. Usually we would have a game like this. He scores, we then score another, we then score another, and then it overshadows the overall or the performance preceding that. But we've had this kind of performance like however many times. Don't know how many times I've come on here and said that. But as Tom said, you win the game. So people look at that as mentality monsters, or you're fantastic and you're this, that, and yeah, which Liverpool have been. Let's not rubbish Liverpool for the whole season. This is just one game. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But you saw the bad and the ugly from Liverpool tonight, defensively, going forward, midfield, everything. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
There's a comment here I want to post you from one of our members. Ola is a Liverpool fan. He says, first loss at Anfield since February 2023. I think he meant to say calm down to the chat. But is it just the defeat once in, or is it this may put you out of winning a cup competition? Surely it deserves scrutiny, even though it's your first defeat at home in 14 months, 15 months.
Yeah. Our last defeat at home was 5-2 to Real Madrid. Another embarrassing display in Europe when the lights are shining brightest. That's two embarrassing defeats in European knockout stages now. That's. I'm sorry.
I think it's not even that, because ultimately we want Liverpool to be at the business end of the season, winning trophies, competing at the top end. And if that's what you want, then if we just lost a random game, I wouldn't really care. But one of the things that I wanted from this season, because after last season was poor, I don't think many Liverpool fans thought we would be going for the league this season. But I thought the Europa League was a good opportunity for us to get Champions League football. A good opportunity for us to win a trophy and potentially get Champions League football if the league didn't go well. The league has gone much better than we've expected. So I'm totally fine. That's great. But this is an opportunity to win a trophy, a European trophy. Liverpool's heritage is built on winning European trophies. And I understand if it's one game in isolation, I'll take your point. But this was a shocking display, and it means that we are now very unlikely, not impossible, because Klopp has said it before, if it was anybody else, maybe it would be impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very, very, very difficult now to go to Atalanta and overturn a 3-0 result.
Yeah, and I want to throw this to Sam before we go to some of these super chats and more points. Do you think that's it now? Or do you think you're out, or can you see a turnaround as we saw against Barcelona, as we've seen against AC Milan? Could there be a magical night next week for Liverpool, or do you think that's curtains in this competition for you, mate?
The short answer is no, we're out. I don't care. I don't care. What have you seen on Liverpool's attack this season that we can score 3 to 4 goals, but also keep out at Atalanta? They bodied us all over the pitch. It was kind of like I had to start laughing at the end, because it was kind of like, what can we do? What can you do? Because the team was poor, the performance was poor, Klopp was poor, everything about it was poor. And the fact of the matter is this: it's not just this one game. We drew to Man United, poor. Before the international break, we lost against United in FA Cup. So this has been a run of games where we have been playing absolutely crap. And this is the business end of the season. This is where your performances and results are supposed to be peaked. Yet it seems like it's going down the hill. And I don't know what's going on, that they Liverpool players think that you can come into a Europa League tie, maybe it's the Europa League, I don't know, a quarterfinal, and think you can walk it. Are you flipping mad? Are you mad? Disrespecting Atalanta, who actually played their hearts out. And you can see at there, I wanted every Liverpool player to stand outside after that match and watch Atalanta players celebrate with their fans. See how much it means to them. See how much it means to them. There's a reason why we're in this competition. It's because of the crap show that we showed last season. So you play your hearts out. But anyways, we're out. I'm saying this. I do not care. We are out. There's nothing to show this season where we can come back from 3-0 deficit. We are out.
Listen, I think it's going to be very... I do agree. I think it's going to be very difficult. I'm saying like you're 95% out. I think with Liverpool, there's always that 5% chance, and that's me being very, very fair.